Chapter 2. Introductions. Get advice from a rich man. An hour later, Jamal was pushing one of the old man's brooms out in front of the church. 3 short strokes forward, then dropped the broom head flat to shake out the dust and bits. Then back for a smooth cleanup stroke. Step to the side. Repeat. Move the line of dust and dirt forward. "You're getting the hang of that now," the Rev said, admiring Jamal's line of sweepings. "Just copying the technique of a master," Jamal said. "I have decades of experience," the Rev said, "and from that wealth of experience, here's another tip." Jamal smiled and took a break from sweeping. He leaned on his broom. "Wind direction," the Rev said. "Doesn't matter much today, but when you do feel some wind, you make sure to keep the wind at your back. Otherwise, sweep with the wind. It helps move stuff in the right direction," Jamal said. "Go against the wind, it comes back at you." "You catch on quick," the Rev said. "Same principle applies to peeing off the side of the ship." "You have experience with that?" Jamal laughed. "I learned the hard way," the Rev said. "Things you learn the hard way, they seem to stick. Now you're a tall, athletic man," the Rev said. "Play hoops?" "Playground stuff," Jamal said. "Suppose you're on a team and you're pretty serious about it and you want to improve your shot. You want to be a great three-point shooter. What are you going to do?" Jamal looked at him and shrugged. "I don't know. Practice? Go out and shoot a lot of threes every day?" "Anything else?" "Come on." "What?" Jamal said. The old man didn't answer, just stood and waited. "Okay," Jamal said, breaking the silence. "How about I get a coach, or at least find a guy who's good and watch him. Learn from him." "Sure, you could do that. And ask for advice. Tips on how to shoot better. Coaching. Good," the Rev continued. "And what if you decided you wanted to be a farmer and grow corn or apples or something?" "That's a dumb idea, but if I was going to be a farmer, I want to talk to a farmer who grows lots and lots of corn or apples. Learn from an expert. Get coaching." "Be a stamp collector?" "Stamps? Like they stamp your hand at a party?" "Postage stamps," the Rev said. "Put one on letter before you put the letter in the mail." "They collect those things?" "Sounds really, really dumb," Jamal said. "But if I, for some crazy reason, decided to collect postage stamps, I'd find me a real good postage stamp collector and ask for advice. See what he does. Get tips. Coaching." "Sounds like a sensible plan," the Rev said. So, Jamal said. "You got a lot of bills and you ain't got a lot of money," the Rev said. Well, maybe," Jamal started. "Maybe I can find some rich man and get coaching and tips and learn all the secrets about how to get rich." Maybe," the Rev said. "At least someone with some money." "You started this, so let's go all in," Jamal said. "I want to meet the richest man in New Babylon." "Well," the Rev started. "So, old man, can you deliver on that? Introduce me to the richest man in New Babylon?" Jamal asked. The Rev looked at Jamal carefully and after a pause said, "I believe I can." "Okay. But first, there are a few things you have to do," the Rev said. "Some preliminaries. You ready for that? This money stuff, it's like a game. You're going to have to learn the rules. When you go to war, you need people on your side." "This is the young man." Jamal faced a big, dark-skinned man, bigger than the Rev. The man's close-cropped hair, going to gray, had given up trying to cover the top of his head. Not quite as tall as Jamal, but wider. He filled the doorway. "Take it easy on him, Gunny," the Rev said. "Easy," Gunny said. "Just to get started," the Rev said. "Come in," Gunny said. "Welcome. Let's set up shop in the dining room." Gunny lived in a small house, all wood, painted different colors with lots of decorations on it. Trees out front shaded the lawn and flower beds that were, well, perfect. The inside of the house was both comfortable and neat, everything straight and orderly, and not a bit of clutter. Right at the front door, there was a small hallway with a closet and a large high-backed antique bench that had a big mirror and lots of hooks for hanging hats and coats. Straight ahead, Jamal saw a comfortable-looking living room. Gunny led them off to the right and into a bright sunlit dining room. The big table had 8 chairs around it. Gunny sat at the head and invited Jamal to sit on his right. The Rev, clearly at home, went into the kitchen. A pot of coffee, mugs, milk, and sugar were already at the table. "Help yourself," Gunny said, gesturing toward the coffee. Jamal picked out a mug and poured. "Zeke tells me you got some money problems." "Zeke?" Jamal said. "Ezekiel. The Rev. That old man currently ransacking my kitchen looking for... What are you looking for in there, Zeke?" "Some kind of little snack. A bite of something," the Rev said from the kitchen. "There's some of them funny little carrots in the produce drawer of the fridge," Gunny said, "and a bag of them ginger snap cookies you like in the cupboard. Now, we were talking money," Gunny said, turning toward Jamal. "More like no money," Jamal said. "No money and everybody in the world wants to get paid." "And you're thinking," Gunny said. "Zeke said something about talking to a very wealthy man. Find someone who's rich and..." "Well, I was just talking with the Rev about this and that," Jamal said. "He's the one who said he could do it. Help me meet the richest man in New Babylon. Get advice. Get some tips. Learn how to get me some real money." The Rev came back at the dining room with a small plate full of ginger snap cookies. "If either of you gentlemen really want some of them carrots, you just tell me and I'll go fetch some for you," he said. "Well, Jamal," the Rev continued, "now you've met the Gunny." "The richest man?" Jamal said. "You mean he's..." "Not quite," Gunny said, laughing. It was a good laugh. Comfortable. "You know about someone being a Gunny?" the Rev asked Jamal. Jamal shrugged. "Funny name," he said. "Gunny ain't a name so much as it's a title," the Rev said. "Jamal, you are talking to Gunnery Sergeant Malcolm T. Forrester, United States Marine Corps, retired. Gunny, meet Jamal Thomas, a smart young man for what I can tell. Had some troubles in the past, looking to dig himself out of a pretty deep hole." Marine Corps, Jamal thought, looking at the man next to him. Yeah, Marine Corps. "I met Gunny about 100 years ago when I was serving," the Rev was saying. "He was just a staff sergeant then, but he was already pretty good at kicking butt and taking names. He got me off to a damn good start in the Corps. I didn't stay in, but we kept up all these years. I reckon any young man looking for a good place to start can't go wrong right here with the Gunny." "Hey, I appreciate what you're saying," Jamal said, "but just so's you know, I ain't planning on going to war, join the Corps or anything like that." Gunny smiled. "Good thing too, Jamal," he said, "because they won't have you. A man with any kind of police record is very difficult to get in the service today." "Oh," Jamal said. "Yeah, I should have. But," Gunny continued, "let me correct you on your other point." He paused. Jamal waited. "Go on," he said finally. "You are going to war, son," Gunny said. "You got enemies out there," he said, making a broad gesture toward the windows. "You got enemies in here," he said, putting his fist against his chest. "You got battles to fight," Gunny said, leaning closer to Jamal and seizing him with his eyes. "You're going to win some, and you can even hope to win most of those battles," he went on. "But you are going to lose some too, and you are going to have to keep fighting, keep going. And you know why you are going to have to keep fighting?" Jamal didn't say anything. "Because it's a damn war," Gunny said, "and you got a hell of a lot to learn if you want to win it. You got to know who your friends and allies are, who you can trust, who's on your side. Even more important, you got to know your enemy, your enemies, because when it comes to money in this modern world, you have enemies everywhere. You got to have a battle plan." Gunny was really rolling now. "It's going to change, but at least you'll understand your position better, develop a strategy, make good decisions. You got to have strength, physical and mental. You got to have training, learn to use information and all the tools at your disposal. They are your weapons. You're going to need discipline. The road is going to be rough. It's going to suck. It's going to beat you up and get you down. But you got to keep going. If all that sounds pretty damn bad, well, it is. You're in a bad place and you're going to have to fight a hell of a damn war to get out of it. I'm laying out all the bad stuff, the tough stuff, so you understand that what you want to do, it is not easy. But listen to me good here. It is not impossible either. You are smart. You are strong. You are young. You have lots and lots of time. There's one more thing that's essential for a man who's going to war. You gotta have good morale. You gotta believe in your mission and keep after it. And from time to time, you need a little R&R, rest and recreation. You need buddies, people you can trust, to help keep you going. The Rev here. He'll tell you that you gotta take care of your spiritual self too. Getting church, real church, ain't such a bad thing. In the service, I got to know all kinds of Christians and Jews and Buddhists and Muslims. I got to where I kind of believe in everything. I could just sit on the front porch quiet like a Quaker and just try to feel the world pass by. Hear all the sounds and feel the air, and it just makes me feel good inside. So there's another thing for your battle plan, to take care of your spiritual self. Gunny stopped talking, sat back, and took a sip of coffee. Jamal sat. It was a long time before he spoke. "When do I start?" Jamal finally said. Gunny glanced over at the Rev and then back at Jamal. "This is a serious undertaking. This war you're going to have to fight, I think I gave you a whole lot to think about," Gunny said. Jamal laughed, not because it was funny. "You think about everything I've been saying," Gunny said. "If you're ready to go to war, you come back here, same time tomorrow, and we'll get started. Like I said, it's going to be hard, damn hard. You got to be ready to work hard and hurt and sacrifice. If you're not ready for that, don't come back. But if you do come back, the Rev and me, we're going to be here," Gunny said. "We're going to be your buddies. We're going to be ready to go to war with you." Rule number 1. Jamal rang the doorbell precisely at 10 o'clock the next morning. Gunny opened the door. Back in the now familiar dining room, the Rev was waiting. After coffee was poured, they were all seated. "You ready?" Gunny said, inspecting Jamal's face intently. Jamal didn't look away. "Thought about everything you said. Thought about it hard," Jamal said. "I'm ready." "Here," the Rev said, pushing a black and white school composition book and pen toward Jamal. "You better start writing this stuff down. Top of the page. Put this down. The rules. Then you can add them there as you learn them." "The rules," Jamal said, taking pen in hand and writing on the first page of the composition book. "Rule number 1, Gunny said. He paused. "Pay yourself first." "Pay yourself first," Jamal said, writing. "Now, tell me about what you think that means," Gunny said. "It's about, I guess, paying for your own stuff first," Jamal said, "before you start treating other folks." "Not even close," Gunny said. "But you're new to this kind of thinking. We'll take it step by step. Working for a living, no matter what you do. Usually it's work," Gunny said. "You on board with that?" "Sure," Jamal said. "Let's say you're in construction. Spent long days working in the hot sun. End of the week, man gives you a check, a couple $100 and change," Gunny said. "Now what?" "Cash it so you can pay for stuff," Jamal said. "Gotta pay rent and buy food. And, come on, Gunny, you know I got a ton of stuff I gotta pay for now. All the fines and child support and stuff." "Let's think about that," Gunny said. "You worked hard, right? Damn hard. Don't you think you deserve to keep some of that money?" "Well, sure, I like to," Jamal said. "But like I said, rent, food, other stuff, there ain't going to be much left." "Chances are there won't be anything left," Gunny said. "Hell, with you just getting started, it's 100% certain there won't be anything left. And you may not waste a penny. You'll just pay for things that are really important, and in the end, you'll be broke." "Yeah, I guess," Jamal said. "When you're in a hole, that's how it is." "Doesn't have to be," Gunny said. "Rule number 1, pay yourself first. The first most important bill you pay every time you get even a little bit of money. You save some of it. You pay yourself first." "But," Jamal said, "I got all these bills and expenses and stuff." "You already said you won't be able to pay them all," Gunny said. "You're going to pay some and put off others. And when that money is gone, you're still going to have stuff to pay for, right?" "Yeah, that's right," Jamal said. "Okay, what's the difference?" Gunny said. "Ignore rule number 1. Money runs out. You're broken in debt. Yeah, Jamal said. Pay yourself first, Gunny continued. Money runs out, and you're still in debt. But you are not broke. You got savings. Maybe just a little to start, but you got something. You are not broke. Yeah, but, Jamal said. You pay yourself first and you start taking control of things, Gunny said. You decide for yourself. You're not just letting bills and debts determine everything you do with your money. You want to be broke? Gunny asked. No, Jamal said. How can you be sure you won't be broke? There was a pause. Gunny waited. Pay yourself first, Jamal said. You aren't really believing it yet, but you're getting the idea. When you got so little money to start with, it's hard, Jamal said. That's why the rule is so important, Gunny said. You put off saving, you're never going to get around to it. All the other stuff gets in the way. Pay yourself first, Jamal said. He paused. I mean, it sounds good, but what if it's not much? Why would it matter? 3 things, Gunny said. First, anything is a whole lot when you compare it to nothing. You either got money or you're broke. That's a big deal. Second point, you put time on your side. You know how a leaky pipe can work. One little drip at a time, slow like. Let it go. Next thing you got water all over the floor. Fill up the whole damn basement like a swimming pool. But it's just this little bitty drip you were thinking. Saving works the same way. Little bit at a time, drop by drop. But it adds up. And it matters because it puts you in control. When you have savings, you can make your own decisions. You got some old debt hanging over your head. When you got enough money saved, maybe you decide to get rid of that debt. Bang, pay it off. You're in control. Pay yourself first, Jamal said. Then he repeated it. Pay yourself first. And it means, Gunny said, looking hard at Jamal, treat your savings like a bill. The first and most important bill you have to pay, Jamal said. I think he's got it, the Rev said. Could not have stated it any better myself, Gunny said.
Illustration of Jamal's notebook. The rules. Number 1. Pay yourself first.